I would go ahead and start recording. I should have recorded because I like the candidness, and that's a lot of what we want people to see too, because we don't want people to shy away from utilizing services that the two of you provide, because we're gonna talk about that being so much of a help in those first couple of years. So my beautiful.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Chris. How are you?
I'm beautiful. I woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that mattered to me.
Take that into there.
That's a fact. That's a big deal, right? Because so many people did not wake up. So that's a beautiful
Walk, can't do. Hey, I can do this. I'm good.
Chris, you reminded me of in the Quran, Surah 55, one of my favorite surahs, Surah Ar-Rahman. Allah asks over and over, in which one of my favors will you deny? And what you just said, Chris, you're saying, I'm not denying any one of Allah's favors. You woke up this morning. That's a big deal. You could do this with your fingers. That's a big deal. And so many of us actually take doing this or waking up for granted.
That's a fact.
Which means we're denying Allah's favors.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And he says that on a daily basis. You know, that's one of the reasons, you know, people, it's funny because when we first got together, people said, oh my God, you guys, you know, they didn't think that we were a match, right? When we first got together. And I saw something in him. It's Allah blessed me to see who he is now, then, as teenagers. When people would, I used to tell him all the time, and this was before he took his shahada, I used to say, you have so many Muslim characteristics about yourself. And he's like, what does that mean? He didn't know anything about Islam. He said, what does that mean? And it was like, even though, you know, he did the things he did in his life, and they may not to the outside person have looked like, you know, he was an upright, righteous person. He had this relationship with God, who he didn't place a name on. To him, it was just God. And he talked. So I woke up, I thanked the Lord. I asked him to, you know, guide me, not let me hurt anybody intentionally, let me do what I have to do. And that was the thing that attracted me to him so much.
Handsome man right here. Believe it or not, almost 4 decades ago, we had a bunch of haters amongst us too. And check it out, we were Muslim. So there's haters amongst all groups, and they were saying he's arrogant, whatever. I remember the arrogance. He's not humble, right? There's no humility. And just like you, Aseelah, I saw it as confidence. I didn't see it as arrogance. And I also saw the potential. There's a joke between us, and I'm going to say it because it still cracks me up. I was working at General Foods as a secretary, 1984. And I was making about $11,000. That was a big deal for, you know, a single woman, $11,000. That's Laldi, and he was making $4.44 an hour. Wow. And that's a joke, but that's what it was equivalent to in terms of my 11,000. But going back to my point is, I saw the potential. I saw the potential in him in so many aspects of the word. Like, it didn't bother me that he was making less. So if I was making 11,000 a year, he probably was making maybe 9,000. Money has never been an issue for us. And, you know, and into his credit, you know, a lot of times if a woman is making more money than a man, if the man is not strong within his own convictions, he'll have a little attitude. Oh, you making $100,000 a year. I'm only making $20,000 a year. He never had an issue with it. You know, so what? I was more established, whatever that means. I had an apartment, you know, I had a job, etc. But he never had that kind of deflated ego. So I fell in love with him. Definitely wasn't at first sight. Well, he'll tell you about that story in a minute, the first sight part. He fell in love first. So I was like, who are you? Did I meet you the other night? No. But I'm going to end this part of it by saying I saw the potential in him. I ignored the haters who said that we're not a match. And I love the fact that he never tried to change me. I am the same, Aseelah, I am the same person I've always been, off the rocker, just saying what he said. Islam has done something with in terms of knowledge, but I am who I am. I am totally who I am. He never tried to change it. He never said, oh, you need to talk this way. Don't be silly. Stop laughing so much. Don't talk to this brother. He never, ever did any of that. He always accepted who I am. And he knew that if it was a change was needed, Allah would put it into my heart, in my soul, and it would naturally. And that's what happened. But I'm gonna stop talking because you already know the deal on who talks the most. So
I do a lot of listening. I just do, and so much so that some people feel like, oh, well, what's wrong with him? Is he a mute or something? He doesn't talk. I listen because I want to know what people are saying when they're not moving their lips, because that's more important to me. A lot of times people say things out of their mouth that's not in their heart, but you can tell by their movement what's there. So I listen a lot. I have 2 ears and 1 mouth. It tells you something. And I speak when I need to. And that's been something that I enjoy. I wasn't always like that. When I was a kid, I talked too much. I did. I talked too much. Talk. And after a while, I realized that you just don't need to talk so much. Yeah, so I stopped and I listen now. And as I said, I talk when I need to. But we had people that, like my father said, haters, even introduced me to her. And then after the person introduced me to her, now you're gonna come back and say something like that. And that was really messed up. In fact, that person really fell down. He came back, but I'm saying he fell all the way down. That marriage is not together anymore. He fell all the way down. Now he came back. So I'm saying all these people talking that stuff, and here we are, we still married, still going strong.
Alhamdulillah.
Allah's merciful.
Alhamdulillah. He is.
And as I mentioned to Fun, I said, look, this is what I got right now, but I got the potential.
$4.44.
I can get some more, okay? And
he did.
Just, give me a chance. Give me a chance. I mean, I can do this, and she did. And I don't think that she feels like she made any mistake. That it was all good. So we're moving on it, And Allah's blessed us to do great work in New York, as far as I'm concerned, and then move into North Carolina. We continue to do that work. Yeah, and I'm serious. We're working. We're not playing. We are working, but we're doing what we love.
Yes, we
love not only the idea of marriage, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us this is what we ought to be doing. We ought to come together. If we want to, for one thing, procreate, this is the way you come together to do that, not just off the flame. You get together, marry, and then you have children. And so we love that this is an institution, and we are trying to keep that institution strong in our community because it's like the family. The family is the first unit of the community. So if that's weak, then the community is weak.
Absolutely.
That's what we're trying to do. And so when we're working with people, we're really trying to get the people to understand that marriage is beautiful. Does it have challenges? Of course it does. Everything in life has challenges.
Absolutely.
Look, every one of us are walking, but that was a challenge in the beginning.
That's right, to walk.
And then, but we got up. We didn't stay down. So it's going to be a challenge, but the challenges are there to help you. It's about growth, and the struggle is a part of the nature of the human being, right?
Yeah. That's what Slaudine said is a great segue into what we're doing in terms of MARS, MMARS. MARS, that's an acronym that stands for Muhammad, Marriage, and Relationships. I got it right.
Services.
It's all that.
And we say that you don't have to go to Mars for help.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that you don't have to leave the planet to go to Mars.
Exactly.
Don't have to leave the planet to go to Mars.
And how long have you been there? So you have the Mars, right? And this has become your what you love to do, and you put it into business form. Because now you're both retired, and now you are doing what you love, which is helping other married couples.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that? How long have you been helping other married couples stay on stay on course?
Well, honestly, this definitely dates before we put it into a company. I like your word,
Right.
your choice of words. We've been doing it,
Over 30 years.
yeah, over 30 years. We've
Wow.
been sitting down and having a chat. I like to say, let's have a chat so we're on the same playing field. I don't want anyone to ever think that, we never want a couple to ever think that we have something that they don't have. All couples have what we have, so long as you're willing to put the work in. There's nothing magical about what we have that has helped us to stay together for almost 4 decades. Nothing magical. It's the belief in Allah. It's going to the book, this beautiful book right here, going to the book. I don't know which way to go. Going to the book when challenges come, and challenges will come. Oof. And being on the same playing field in terms of the agendas. And we can get into that later, but what we have is the desire to have a halal marriage, a peaceful marriage, and it's work. Aseelah and Chris, this is a beautiful relationship. I kid you not, but this is a relationship based on hard work. And I'm talking about on a day-to-day basis. I'll give you a perfect example today. I'm getting Yaz breakfast together. I'm getting my breakfast together. And I'm also, it was right after Fajr, and I'm also trying to get to an Arabic class. Salahuddin usually gets up later. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna put a smile on this is a cognizant thought. I'm saying, like, I didn't plan, because I always get Yasmin's breakfast, and Salahuddin gets up a little later, and he usually gets his own breakfast. But a cognizant thought came to me and said, I'm making some avocado toast. Salahuddin likes my avocado toast. Instead of using 1 avocado, I'm going to put 2 in, mash it up, put some bing bang bomb into it, and bara. And he didn't expect it. I could tell, because he went right into his office thinking probably that, I'll get my breakfast later. And I said, sweetie, did you see the breakfast? Put that little tally mark up. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I did say, did you get your breakfast yet? He said, you should. It was a total organic surprise. Like, what'd you make? I said, avocado toast. He said, okay. And then I said, you want me to bring it to you? Now, you know, yeah, exactly. But he said, no, he would go to the kitchen and get it himself. But that's what I'm talking about, the work. Did I have necessarily the time exact time to do all that? Not even for Yasmin, not even for me, but you know what we do as human beings. We make the time, and cognizantly thinking about Salahuddin and saying, I'm gonna put a smile on his face. That's the work I'm talking about.
And she did.
And you love that avocado
toast. It was very good. I didn't have to do anything but eat it. And that was beautiful. I mean, listen, it's there. As she says, it's not something that I'm used to, but so I accept it.
Wait, did you see the lug? Did you see the shade? It's not something that I'm used to.
She said it first. She said it first. But I accept the gift. I accept the gift, and I thank God for the gift, and I thank Fonda for the gift, because it was beautiful, timely. Timely, because then I didn't have to go and warm up some oatmeal or something. Right. It was there, and I appreciate it. The plate on the top plate had "From your love to my love" or something to that effect. And it was nice. Hey, I said, okay. I'm getting ready to go on a trip too, So now it's like, I can't wait to get back to my baby.
Right. See, Sister Fonda, you did what you were doing, right? That little bit of oomph in it when he's about to go away. Give him something to think about and look forward to coming home.
That's it. I love it. But Aseelah and Chris, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not hard work, right? But it's focused work.
But it is work.
It's work. It's putting yourself in your own. Let me hurry and get to this Arabic class. Putting yourself to the side for a few minutes and thinking about someone else. And I was just 1 minute late to the Arabic class, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Right.
Alhamdulillah.
Old song came to my head, and it was like, it said, the same thing it took to get your baby is going to take the same thing to keep her. The whole idea is people put a lot in trying to get the person. And then after they get them, they feel they can get relaxed and become complacent and not do anything.
Right.
And that doesn't work. That doesn't work. You have to keep doing it.
Have to continue to work.
Yes, you have to keep doing it. I mean, she didn't see you you know, asleep in your eyes before, and not why she's seeing you with that now. Well, I mean, come on, do something. Don't, you know, you have your hair all mashed down. Come on now. Look, you made sure everything was in place. Keep it that way, because then what's going to happen is the person is going to say it's a front. Like I heard someone say, this man, he did all of these things. He did all of these things to get me, and it's not him. He did all of those things just so he could get me, and he's not doing any of that now. Recently had someone tell me that, and I was like, oh, wow. I said, okay, this particular person, you know, he's by himself, he's alone, and this, that, and the other. Well, why? He should have said, let her know that in the beginning, because she might have said, well, no, I need something else.
Yeah.
But now she's caught in the web. Now she's with him, miserable.
And Sloan just reminded me of something that Allah says, and I'm going to paraphrase, but he says that we, as believers, are to speak a word directly to the right. That means speak the truth. So the couple the couple he just referred to, people faking moves, Aseelah. People faking moves. There's no reason to fake moves.
Yeah.
Speak a word directly to right. Be upfront. Be who your authentic self. So no one's fooled. You know, there's another situation that I'm aware of. And after about 4 months of marriage, the individual had a problem with the weight of his wife.
The weight gain.
The weight, and she didn't even gain weight. She was that size
when he married her.
Exactly. But it was okay. Then all of a sudden, 4 months into it, he had a problem with her weight. Like, speak a word directly to the right. Why are we fronting? If that's your issue, you want tiny, petite women, then don't break someone's heart, making them think that you're okay with the weight.
Right.
So in that situation, it's like the individual was thinking, he knew what he had as a preference. He knew what his preference was. But now he's thinking that, well, he's a Muslim, she's a Muslim, it's Islam to get married, that he can overlook that and not allow for his preference to take precedence.
Right.
And so he went into it that way, not understanding that if that's your preference, man, you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Because she's the size that she is when you met her. Now how all of a sudden, after you done got with her and the children that she have and everybody's clinging to you, now you backing out because she doesn't fit your particular preference.
Right.
That you had before you got married in the first place.
Yeah. So you have to know what that is. And that's one of the reasons why it's important for people to have premarital counseling.
That's right. Wow, we are so in sync. I was thinking that, and he said it.
He said it could, because that's one of the points that I want to bring up. But I want to go back real quick to what Sister Fonda was saying in the beginning when you first met in regards to the money issue, right? So I read some stats, right? Because I've been, wanting to really find out what leads people to divorce, right? Because that's the goal, right? It's to help deter the divorce rate, right? So I read these stats and I want to get your take on it. So in the US, the United States has a 50% divorce rate, with 28% divorcing due to infidelity and 37% divorcing for money issues.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The second was couples marrying between the age of 20 and 25 are 60% more likely to get divorced. And then the third one, the average couple goes through their first divorce by the age of 30. Right. Yeah.
Well, based on our experiences in terms of coaching couples, those stats are true. And we're both certified SYMBIS. SYMBIS stands for
Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts.
Saving your marriage before it starts. And as we counsel people during premarital or during, money issues come up. Some infidelity has come up. Some people are between the ages of, in SYMBIS, they say before 22, or is it 25?
25.
Oh, it is 25.
Yeah, so 25 over, that's good.
It's a good thing. So that's your stats. You said between 20 and 25.
20 and 25.
So that's a big amount of divorce.
Yeah.
And you probably don't have this, and I don't have it in front of me, but it also states that those families or those couples who had premarital counseling before they got married, the stats show that they stay married longer if in fact something happens, or just stay married. Because what's happening is you're going over a lot of stuff that you may not have even thought about.
Absolutely.
Up front.
Yeah, Chris and Aseelah, we've had quite a few clients that we chat with. And recently we had a situation where they decided, a couple of couples, actually, two that come to mind within the last 6 months, they decided, you know what, let's put a hold on, let's not pursue this marriage. This is during both premaritals, because certain aspects of their personalities came out, certain aspects of finances came out, certain aspects of blending, blended with children came out. So to Slaughter's point, that's a big deal. And I tease couples a lot. I say, you guys are doing better than us. We didn't have premarital counseling. We didn't know, we didn't know to have premarital counseling. So I say that, I mean, obviously it can work, but you got to put the work in for it to work. But I say the best is to have a premarital counseling with a person or persons you can trust and be honest during those sessions. The recent one that's not going to work, some stuff came out during premarital counseling where the husband wasn't being upfront until it came out during premarital counseling. Certain things actually bothered him that he never spoke directly to his fiance, but it came out during premarital counseling. And alhamdulillah, I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to try to label it, but ever since I was a little girl, Allah has blessed me with like this, I call it a sixth sense. It's a feeler. I can feel certain things. I don't know what it is, but I during these sessions, the antennas come out and I can pick up on, I give all credit to Allah, but I tend to be able to pick up on red flags and the BS.
Yeah.
Red flags.
Are people, the couples that you, when they give the assessment, are they willing? Like, is this something that they're scared to do? Like are they apprehensive that, wow, maybe, would they uncover this? Maybe we're not really compatible. Maybe we're not. Do you get that from couples?
Well, no, in the beginning, I mean, they say, oh, this sounds good, let's do it. And they jump right on it and do this assessment. Okay. And like this one couple we haven't started talking to. I mean, we just started talking to them, but we're not dealing with them yet in a premarital situation. They say, oh, we got it. We want to start talking about this because we do a lot of talking anyway. They're going to have sessions with us, but they don't know what it is. And then once they get it, they say, wow, they asked a lot of questions. Yeah. And it does talk about things that they may not have thought about. Now, we tell them that if you don't want to have us work with you on it, we can just send it to you. Right. But it's better if you do the SIMBIS assessment and then come to us for coaching. Then we'll take you through everything that's there. It's between like 15 to 18, 20 pages of information. Right. And it's pretty spot on. Most of the time, it's spot on. It's like
the assessment, the results of the assessment is spot on.
Yes, in terms of what that person is, their personality, their likes, their dislikes, their take on certain things is usually spot on, and people be so like shocked. How do they know this? The way that it's set up, it gives you that information.
But it's up to the couple to answer honestly on the questions.
Right.
I mean, if you put the BS answers, it's not going to detect anything.
You're not going to get a good result, right?
No. And for the most part, I get a feel that they're being honest. The couples are being honest.
And I think that some of the questions are there, the way that they're built in, is so that it's going to catch the BS, and so it's going to bring out who you are anyway. Yes. So it comes out that way, and we've had some success with it. People enjoy it. I'm actually going to be marrying or officiating the marriage of my nephew in Atlanta, inshallah, tomorrow.
Mhm.
And his fiance, they were like, oh man, it's like they were in our room or something. You know, it's like they know us, right? And it was really good. And they scored high.
Yeah.
In terms of compatibility.
Compatibility. Wow.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Very high, you know.
Alhamdulillah.
But to your stats, Aseelah, your research, they are 34 and they're both 33 and 34 above that 25 mark.
Okay.
And just in sync in terms of their goals and aspirations. So
Alhamdulillah.
I'm so proud. I was like, because we haven't done family, but we're not counseling, we're coaching, we're having a chat. So so when you start getting into the actual therapy, the therapists who are licensed and the therapists who get deep in the head, I know right now I would never, when I say never, I would never counsel, I'll use counsel for that situation, never counsel a family member. Too much stuff.
Too much stuff will come out, right?
So,
but
I did a lot of counseling by myself, right?
Okay.
And I know she had talked to people by herself. But what I found, like with the Muslims, oftentimes when I started bringing Fonda in to be with me, that they would feel like because I'm a man and he's a man, her husband is a man, I'm going to automatically take his side, right? Now I take the side of truth. That's not even me. I take the side of truth. But I just thought it would be good if a woman was there, my wife was there, because then that would be the balance.
Right.
Plus, the real good part of it is that skill that she has in terms of the inside, just kind of like being able to pick up certain things intuitively. Intuitively. So that worked perfectly for us.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, it's scary sometimes. Sometimes I just want to be wrong with my feelings. Like,
oh no, don't say that. Don't say that. Let Allah continue to give it to you, so that because it is a help, and to be able to have the type of personality that you have, to be able to make a person so comfortable to just want to just talk with you, right? It doesn't feel like I'm being counseled, because I think that is a lot of times people don't want to come to someone because they feel, they hear the word counsel, they hear the word marriage counseling, and their defenses go up. They feel like, well, what's wrong with us? Why we got to have counseling? I think we're just fine, and it's automatically a wall built up. So to be able to, how important is that for married couples after they're married to have someone to come to and like how you guys worded the kicking it sessions? not counseling, just a kicking it session with another married couple, that may have the insight that you have, at the level of counseling. How important is that for a married couple?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's definitely a 10. It's so important. It's extremely important. And here's the thing. I don't know about the stats on this, but my experience tells me that within our community, African-American community, Muslim community, we've been programmed to think that we can handle it all ourselves. We've been trained, our generation, and I'm going to say yours and Chris's generation, keep everything in the house, that's the training, that's the programming. And so we have to get to the point with your children, your generation of children, Chris and Aseelah, and our grandchildren, we have to get them, I think it's good to teach them not to run their mouths with everyone, but let's have that balance, and let's find a couple that you can trust. Let's find a person you can trust, and it's okay to express yourself. If writing it in a journal is not enough for Yasmin, then we're going to make sure that she continues to, and this is a true story right now I'm sharing, we're going to continue to make sure that she is speaking to Jamila, who has a chat with her once a month about her feelings, because we in our old age are being proactive to make sure she gets what other generations, including our generation, didn't get. And it's not that. She'll go, inshallah, she'll go into that life knowing you know what? Yeah, Jamila is a therapist. I spoke with her once a month on a Saturday about my feelings, as opposed to that negative stigma. And imagine your children, that whole generation begins to think that it's okay to talk about it. We're not running our mouth and telling family business. We're talking about it and we're getting strategies. Fast forward to your question, it's so important that couples feel comfortable to be able to talk about what's going on, if that's within their practice to do so as a married couple. No push, no shove. But if they want to talk about it, Aseelah, I'm just going to use you guys because you're in front of us. Aseelah is constantly screaming at the kids, and that really bothers me. So Chris says to Aseelah, you know what, I want to talk about this because I've been telling you for 5 years that your harshness is very abusive. Of course, I'm making this up. It's very abusive, and it's not, and it continues. Let's call Imam Salahuddin and Sister Fonda, and let's get some strategies from this, because I'm really afraid that the harshness is going to hurt them as they move forward into teen years, young adult years.
Yeah,
that's a chat.
yeah.
It's not saying. I was doing a one-on-one with a sister Monday, and I was saying, it doesn't mean you're a bad parent to try to get some tips on raising your kids. It just means that you're a smart, proactive parent who doesn't want the same kinds of, I hate the word mistakes, the same kind of challenges that you went through.
Right, mishaps.
Mishaps, exactly. You want something different for your children.
Right.
It was a whole situation. Well, I do X, Y, and Z because I'm trying to protect them. I said, well, continue to protect them, but it's okay if you seek additional, be resourceful.
Yeah.
Be resourceful, seek additional help, because smart people do seek additional help.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, the definitive book on parenting has not been written. There's thousands of books on parenting, and it's not, because the children come up and they come up different, you know. But one of the things that came up, or I thought about when Fonda was talking, different cultures, you know, in our community, we have different cultures, right? So I know that the South Asian, the culture, the wife really is in the background, and she doesn't really say much. She just allows it to happen. But because of the teachings that many of the imams have been doing in the triangle area, they have recognized that it's important to speak if they're in pain, because they have been quietly suffering for years. But now they're coming out. They're coming out and they're speaking about that pain, speaking about their relationship, which before it was like taboo. You don't do that. And the man just reigns over them, knowing that they're not going to break that. They're breaking it now, and they're coming forward to talk to someone to receive counseling. So now we're getting a lot of those people coming in because they're saying, man, I can't deal with this no more. Such and such and such happened. You know, I remember doing one with a couple, and they had about a 3-year-old kid. Now, it's really hard to bring your kid to the counseling session. That's the worst, because now you try to keep them quiet. You know, you are broken in terms of your tension and everything. And this particular couple, neither one of them knew how to parent. So it was like one would say, I'm gonna give them something, the other one would say, don't give them something. And they just didn't know, but they got married. They didn't know. Their family threw them together in an arranged marriage. They had the baby, and they didn't know what to do with the baby. Wow. So now you see why premarital counseling is important. So they know what it is that they're getting into. We have a situation where this guy now is saying that he didn't want the children. Now he's going crazy because of the way these kids is running around. I don't want to be married, that kind of thing. Well, hey, you should have had, if you had premarital counseling before this, then perhaps you would have realized that in a year, 2 or 3, it's not going to work for you because you have other things that you really want to do. So don't do it, because if you do this, it's going to be too late. The kids in the world now, it's too late. You got 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, it's too late. Now you got to do something for those kids.
Yes.
Salahuddin had mentioned in a particular culture, a South Asian culture, but let's not, you know, let's call a spade a spade. And the African American culture is very similar in that And of course, when I make this statement, Chris and Salahuddin, I am painting with a broad brush.
Mm,
I'm not saying every African-American man,
right.
but my experience has been that in the African-American culture, we just don't seek any help because we want to keep everything within. And in some relationships, some African-American relationships, the men are, and right now I'm thinking African-American Muslim relationships, the men are usually oftentimes the ones bringing the money home. And then the woman is feeling like she has to be subservient or remain in this oppressive situation. Because what am I going to do? I haven't worked for 30 years. I don't know what to do. I have 6 kids. What am I going to do? And she feels oppressed, and she feels like she's stuck, and she feels like if she goes out to talk about it, because that is going to cause more of a ripple in her marriage.
Wow.
Sure, there are some men who feel oppressed in those situations too, because sometimes, you know, a woman can be, you know, again, I'm painting with a broad brush, Aseelah, and to myself, not all women are like this, but sometimes women can be very oppressive and feel like I'm making more than you. You ain't doing nothing. You know, they, you know, what we do with our mouths, make a man feel
less than a man.
Less than a man is a word I'm looking for. What?
Demasculinize, demasculate. Demasculate. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, make him feel like you said, Slaughtering, less than a man. We know we do.
Right.
And now talking about couples, not just a woman, not just a man. We, in a relationship, we all know how to push that button and trigger. Exactly. We know what we're doing.
We
know how to be hurtful, and we know how to be loving.
That's right.
I pushed the loving button this morning.
Yeah, with that avocado toast. Wow. Now, let me ask you this, with your, because you mentioned, you know, you calling, having a conversation with your husband and saying, you know, let's call him Hamid and have a chat. With your services, how would that work? Take me through describe to us how it would work for a couple. Say they decided they want to, you know, do it's a SYMBIS assessment, right? They want to do that. And then they want to be able to, so they will take the assessment, right? And then they would have sessions, they would have counseling sessions with you. Are those premarital sessions that they have after it, or is that post-wedding?
It could be both. It could be one or the other, because they have a report for people who are married already, as well as a report for those people who are getting married. And so we ask them, if we say to them that we think it would be good for them to take it, because it brings out a lot, and then you'll be able to get a good picture of yourself and your mate, right? And it's $35. I think it's $35 well spent. So they spend the $35, they get the SYMBIS report, assessment, they fill it out and send it back in. And we say to them that if they would like to have sessions, that if they want one session is $75, which is still low. But if they take a 5-session package, 5 sessions would be $250, which would be a savings of $125. That's still low.
Yeah. Don't forget the first session is free.
Well, the evaluation.
We go over
a consultation.
There's a free consultation. So you can decide, so a couple can decide, do I want to come back to this chat, chat, or do I just want them to send me the SYMBIS report?
Okay. Right. To see whether, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because, you know, everybody is not compatible with everyone, right? So you give a couple a chance to come sit with you, talk to you, see whether you're someone that they feel comfortable with sharing the intimacy of their, right, feel the energy. Okay. All right.
Exactly. And then that's a free consultation, like Slaughtering said. Most couples, I'm going to say all, they go with the 5-session package.
Yeah,
everyone,
sense.
Right?
Yeah, it makes sense, you know. Yeah. Because like if we're able to get through the SYMBIS report before we end the 5 sessions, say we did it in 3, well, that means they have 2 more sessions, which they could use anytime. They don't have to use it then. They might
Okay.
want to, maybe one of them need it and not the couple, but you know, so it's there, it's a package, and it works. And we've had people who wanted even more time.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm thinking about that couple.
Yeah.
This one couple, they just kept getting packages.
But the thing about that particular couple, I have to say, the brother is, as far as I'm concerned, he was faking moves. He did it for her. And so he was kept putting the money out to get more and more. And he's one of those brothers that every time you say something, he have a little grin, like he laughs, you know. So he was doing that, and it was as though he was accepting it, but he wasn't.
Well, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna push back just
He
a
was
little
holding
bit.
weight.
But I'm gonna push back a little bit because Allah knows best what's in people's hearts. And it's a feeling that we both shared, but I don't know if we should just talk about it like that because we don't know what that brother is struggling with. It appeared to be just what Salahuddin said.
He looking like, okay.
But we don't know what's in his heart. It could be something totally different. The good news on that, the wife continues to seek one-on-one with me. So they did have some sessions left and she's using them up to do one-on-one, and we offer one-on-one too. The brothers can do one-on-one with Salahuddin. The wives can do one-on-one with me. And that's how she's working it out.
I have to say I'm a little biased because women have been taking a lot of stuff for too long. And a lot of imams and brothers have just allowed it to happen. And then I'm not for that. And so I'm going to come to try to help. And I just hate to see the woman going through so much. And really the Islam is supposed to be a beautiful situation, not one where you're struggling. And then you find people leaving the religion because these people messed up.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts because people have been, what do you call it, taken off the path because of how somebody mistreated them, whatever the case may be. And they look at that and think that's the religion.
Right.
But Chris and Aseelah, that's why it's so important. You guys have young children. We're raising Yasmin like she's our granddaughter, but we're raising her like a child.
Right.
We have an opportunity to make sure that our young children understand that Islam is not about pleasing mommy, daddy. Islam has to come into your heart. So when your daughters and your sons, when Yasmin gets to the age of marriage, they're not, well, they are Muslim, but in a situation where there's a thought, they're Muslim, but if they're striving to please Allah, they're not going to be taken off the path because of their husband doing something wrong, or their parents doing something wrong, or their siblings doing something
Absolutely.
wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's teach them to love Islam and gravitate towards Allah for themselves. You know what? Let me tell you something. I stopped. Listen, we teach, we want them to emulate, we want them to follow. But I've been saying to Yasmin, I said, you know what? Papa just called the adhan. It's up to us to respond to it. And I've been saying words like this, but you have to come. I'm not forcing you to come to prayer. And because I do that now, and she's doing her voodoo because it's not dictating to her. It's allowing her to make a choice. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I just, the Omar and Hannah, right? They be watching and the kids be watching that. And they have, Zaki has 2 rockers, 4 rockers, 3 rockers. So I like to, I put it on, and I told her it's easier for them to follow the cartoon character making this a lot than following us, because it seemed forced. I said, so we put it on. I said, we can act like we learning with them just so that, and let them, because he's making them full salah, so he can lead all of us, and they don't feel the pressures of us pushing Islam. Is all they feel is they showing us.
Right.
Because I put them on first. I put them on first. So now I got it where they want to show us now. Let's all do this together.
Love it.
And it's so beautiful because when we come together on Sundays now, he'll put, we hear the Adhan, right? Because we have it on our phone, like the Muslim Pro. So the Adhan, and we get in the habit of, okay, everything got shut everything off when the Adhan is called, right? And then it's like, he's like, all right, well, let's take it a step further now. We got them into shut everything down, and you hear the Adhan. Now it's shut everything down. And instead of, them watching us do it, we'll make our salat, but we'll put the what is the Zaki, right? Is that well, no, that one's not the Zaki. It's just follow it. If you go to YouTube and just say 4 rakas, right, okay, right. It'll go through the entire, it's a young boy on there, and he's making salat, full salat, and it literally goes from the beginning and end. And they get so excited. The girls come in and say, Nana, I need my hijab. And they're even calling it by name now. The boys, they want to go and get their kufi. So it's like, it stops it from making it seem like mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa, Nana and grandpa are forcing us to come over here and do this. Now it's something that they want to do. It's almost like a reverse psychology type of,
That's exactly what it is. It is.
Yeah. And it works. It works. So
I've been using that a lot. The older kids, we fasting. Y'all come over here, we fasting. Oh, y'all fasting? Y'all didn't tell it. Yeah, we didn't tell y'all. Yeah. Oh, next week come. Oh, y'all fasting today?
They're texting us before we can. It's like something like we got this, like, oh, we want to be in on that, right? And that is how, that's how we're doing it. They're like, well, why are you fasting? And so that gives us a teaching opportunity. Oh, because Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam fasted on Mondays and Thursdays. Oh, and then Ariana, 4:00 in the morning on Monday, the very next Monday. Are we fasting today?
I love it. And I like she said, are we fasting? I love it.
Right? Yes. It really works. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. To be in the house and you got 8, 9 grandkids in the house, and the lineup is crazy. I'm like, let me clean some more room. Let me make some more room over here.
Putting blankets down to have room for everybody to be. It's beautiful. I mean, it's alhamdulillah. And blended families, now the number of blended families, people who are coming together who have children before they've gotten married, is so much more so that, and I haven't done it, done much of the research on this, but the blended families, helping families to be able to stay together when you have children with other people, right? So that, and the thought went to that because you said someone brought in a child, and you mentioned, that blending the family. Is your advice any different? I'm sorry. This camera, trying to stay within the camera range and be able to.
Yeah.
Well, even with the SYMBIS assessment, it talks about that. But here's the thing. So if you have a person that has children outside of that couple, outside of the marriage, so that means that there's somebody else involved, right? So you need to know if you're going to have, they call it baby mama drama. You might have baby mama drama. Now that's a thing. So now, are you willing to deal with that? That you know that you're going to have to deal with this baby's mama, and she got a thing where she's going to try to make his life miserable, and you ready to deal with that? Or is it a situation that you can't really deal with because the children didn't come from you, or are you willing to deal with that because you love children? Now, it's funny that you mentioned it, because my nephew, he has children. He has like 4 or 5 children.
Okay.
And his fiance has no children but those children,
right,
that she has accepted.
Okay.
And he doesn't have any, he said he doesn't have any baby mama drama, okay? But they fly back and forth to New York to pick the kids up and bring them back to the house. They're all gonna be at the wedding, and then eventually they're gonna go back up there. I don't know what's gonna happen in the end, but the sister has accepted them like they're her own.
Mhm.
Now she's still able to have children, and they probably will, but she has embraced them. So the whole idea is, are you willing to embrace
Yeah.
those children like
Yeah.
your own?
And I think that's what you just said, embrace those children. That was the nail on the head, because I would recommend not going into a marriage thinking, oh my goodness, I might have baby mama drama or a daddy mama drama.
Mm.
I don't think that's a healthy way to go into it. Instead, my recommendation would be to go into it saying, what do I what does Fonda bring to the table to make sure that whatever challenges come, will she be equipped to handle it? Because the bottom line is, if we go into thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to deal with this marriage because I don't want baby mama drama. I don't want daddy, whatever it's called, daddy drama, baby daddy drama. It's going to be, you can call it drama, you can call it challenges, but life brings these challenges in this drama.
Right.
But hack yourself, just have a bag, a repertoire, a huge arsenal of, when this happens, let me pull this out, metaphorically speaking, and say, oh, okay, this is strategy number 5,421. I'm going to use this when I talk to Sister Sandra. I'm not going to let Sister Sandra in the shaitan get to me because she got stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'll start with this. The narrative, the story we tell ourselves before we do anything really determines our behavior.
And it's important to know, and at least get the idea to know that, it's a possibility. What is it you're getting into? You don't even know you're getting ready to get married. It's something that you're not going to know until you're married.
Till you get married. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
you
a
get
fact.
married. Now you go through all of these things that we're talking about, but there's an element of it that you are not going to know
until you get into it. That's right. Okay, but we're at 11:04. I know Imam Salahuddin does have to go.